This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Opioid overdoses are skyrocketing in Winnipeg. A CBC data analysis shows Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service respond to up to 66 opioid calls a day. The I-Team hit the streets with first responders to see the drug crisis themselves. And as Michelle Allen reports, frontline workers say there's little help for people trying to break out of addiction.
Thank you.
3 people down in Winnipeg's downtown. 1 paramedic.
Hi, do you want to come sit over here in the shade and we can talk? Are you okay? Can you get a unit to Logan and King for an overdose, please? Well, I'll go over and check him. Do you want to go there? And then I'll get someone for her and I'll get someone for him. Yeah, what were you using? Meth? How much did you use?
Just after lunch last Thursday, District Chief Amy Hancock took CBC for a ride. The forecast high, 33 degrees. And a toxic drug alert had been issued that morning.
Do you want me to check your vitals and we can go maybe to the hospital? Okay. Hey, what's your name? Buddy, can you wake up? Did you use some drugs today by chance? No? Are you sure?
Hancock says firefighter paramedics are overwhelmed every day by drug-related calls.
Hi, what's your name? Were you using drugs today, Brandy? Do you want me to check out your vitals? Okay. So you feel like you're safe to go on your way? George, why do you keep falling asleep on me? Did you use any drugs today? Keep it, George. What kind of drugs? How did you take them? Come on, open your eyes. Tell me what's going on. Do you think some Narcan would help you out? Okay, George, you're gonna have a poke in your shoulder, all right? 1, 2, 3, poke. George.
After a couple of doses of naloxone, he's revived.
Okay, George, my friends are here. They're gonna help you out, and we're gonna make a plan for you, okay?
Like many, he turns down further medical help.
Okay, George, are you feeling better?
Did you want to go to the hospital today, George? No?
Back in the truck on the way to the next call, we see the man Hancock's just treated, walking down the street.
There he was.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you actually saw him walking down the road there?
Mixed, because I feel bad for him. No one wants to live this way, but like also glad that he's still up and walking. And I just wish people had better supports, that this could stop being a cycle.
The next patient isn't breathing.
Help, yeah, can you oxygen? I don't have oxygen on me. And just some Narcan. Hey!
Hancock is able to revive her. So far this year, Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service responded to over 2,000 opioid calls. CBC analyzed over a decade of Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service call data. It showed that 2026 is on track to break records.
Engine 3, Engine 4, Rescue 5, DC 3, Ladder 1.
Firefighter paramedics say they're inundated by the sheer number of calls.
One example is a dispatcher looking at their screen, trying to send an ambulance to an overdose and a child having an allergic reaction, and there isn't an ambulance for either of them. That's a crisis.
What's your name? What's your name? I met you before. What's your name?
Do you want to come into the ambulance so we can assess you? You were quite blue, you weren't breathing, so why don't you let them check your vital signs out and make sure everything's okay?
Yeah, we should check you.
On a single day in April, Winnipeg Fire Paramedics responded to 66 opioid-related calls.
It's the perceived futility of continuing to try to help the same people, and they're not getting the bigger picture help they need with mental health counseling and substance abuse counseling to get them off of the drugs that are impacting them.
How you doing? You okay? Just checking on you, making sure you're okay. You doing good? You need anything? You hungry?
This outreach worker says it's hard to get out of the addiction cycle. He knows from experience.
I stayed right down there between those two trees.
Jason Podolanek and his girlfriend Alicia Wallen were homeless, struggling with meth and fentanyl addiction. Wallen died in the hospital 5 months ago. The autopsy found fentanyl in her system.
Losing my girlfriend? That's what made me change.
What was she like?
She was wonderful. She was the most kindest girl you could ever meet. Just determined not to let her death be in vain. Here you go, my brother.
He's in recovery now after getting housing, detox, and medication. He says harm reduction alone won't stop the cycle. People need help getting off drugs. A few days later, CBC went to Main Street Project to get images of the toxic drug alert poster. There, another overdose. The naloxone gets her on her feet again. The firefighter paramedics are left to their next call. Michelle Allen, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Premier Wab Kinew has floated expansion plans for a gas pipeline through northern Manitoba. He says there's no opposition from First Nations on the proposal. But as CBC's Bartlett Kivas reports, that claim may be premature.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew wants to build one of these, a liquefied natural gas pipeline to the Port of Churchill on Hudson Bay. While there are many financial and technical obstacles in the way of this plan, the Premier says First Nations opposition isn't one of them.
No, I don't think there is Indigenous opposition.
Wab Kinew told CBC News podcast Frontburner Indigenous leaders are unopposed to the natural gas pipeline he wants to build in northern Manitoba. Kinew says Northern Chiefs are all working with the province on the Port of Churchill expansion, and he's been clear about what that entails.
I think everyone is pretty well informed who's been at the table engaging with us about the possibility of a pipeline.
So far, the organization that represents Northern Chiefs hasn't expressed support for a pipeline in particular. Manitoba Kuwait-Nawi Okimakanak says First Nations will determine their own path forward. This environmental activist from Pukatawagan First Nation says Kinew has gotten ahead of himself.
I think that the Premier needs to hit the brakes a little bit with the rhetoric and stop talking about this project like it's a done deal, because it's certainly not, and there is Indigenous opposition.
The MKO made a similar point in a more subtle manner earlier this week in Ottawa when its Grand Chief told the Senate Committee on Indigenous Peoples Manitoba isn't serious about all the steps in the duty to consult process and treats consultations as mitigation or accommodation.
MKO describes this constitutionally flawed approach to the Crown's duty to consult consistent with the Honour of the Crown as let's make a deal.
The federal government has given Manitoba 3.5 years to get a pipeline going to Hudson Bay. Bartlett Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
In our story about highway deaths in Manitoba Wednesday, we incorrectly noted there'd been 7 more deaths on highways this year compared to the same time last year. The number is in fact 3. We apologize for this error. A Canadian Armed Forces sergeant facing charges for assaulting military police testified at her court-martial this week. It all stems from an incident at 17 Wing in March. Sergeant Athena Morris says the force refused to change her gender marker in its database. So she tied herself to a chair in an area she didn't have clearance in. Morris testified 3 military police officers asked her to leave, but she refused. She says an officer shocked her with a conducted energy weapon, pushed her against the ground, and searched her. After the altercation, she was charged with assaulting a police officer and resisting arrest. All right, time now to bring in Riley. And Riley, it felt much cooler out there today than the last few days.
Yeah, I'll talk about temperatures in a moment, Brittany, but it may have felt cooler, but this is actually seasonal, at least in the Red River Valley. Again, I'll talk temperatures in just a moment and show you where we came to throughout the day today, but still dealing with some leftover instability from the thunderstorms that rolled through parts of the province last night. into northwestern Ontario through the afternoon hours today. A severe thunderstorm watch in place for Dryden, Fort Francis into Atikokan, and you can see some of the lightning bolts, a few stray showers, even a few little pop-up showers east into the Red River Valley throughout the afternoon hours. All the result of an area of low pressure that was over Saskatchewan yesterday, now over the Manitoba-Ontario border, and that's what's led to some of this residual energy in eastern parts of the province and across the border as we push through the afternoon hours today. The rest of us under a little bit of cloud cover, however, closer to the international border, mainly sunny skies, and that helped push temperatures up today. 24s into Winkler and Steinbach, Winnipeg 23 this afternoon, 13s to 16s into the Parkland through the day. Today, looking at 10 degrees, the possibility of some patchy fog, particularly east of the city through the overnight hours. Mostly sunny into the morning. Another bright one to come tomorrow, Brittany, and temperatures again very seasonal as we head through your Friday.
All right. Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
The Premier says no to a proposed massive AI data center south of Winnipeg. Why it won't be going up in the rural area? Next. Stay with us. The Manitoba government is saying no to a proposed AI data center. Two companies wanted to build one on a parcel of land just south of Winnipeg. As CBC's Josh Crabb reports, the Premier says the risks outweigh the benefits.
People concerned about noise, light, and air pollution in the Arm of Richot are breathing a sigh of relief. Thousands came out against a proposal to build an artificial intelligence data center near their homes, including Paul Lecoq and Colleen Bouvette.
There were no pros to this. Go build it in the middle of somewhere where nobody lives. That's okay.
Las Vegas-based Jet AI and Consensus Core out of Vancouver want to put an AI data center powered by natural gas turbines just north of Ile-des-Chênes. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew says the threat to the environment and electricity needed to run it outweigh any benefit to the economy.
We've taken a close look at it. The Act in Manitoba allows us to prioritize who gets hydro. We've put this at the bottom of the list, basically, and so that's our way of saying we're not going to be supporting this project to move forward.
The CEO of Consensus Core, Wayne Lloyd, says the project would create millions of dollars in annual local tax revenue. Lloyd also says the center would generate and store its own energy, but that contradicts what the Premier told us.
So if we have 500 megawatts of power, which is what this Ile-des-Chênes data center was asking hydro for, how many jobs could we create if that's going to the Port of Churchill, if that's going to build new manufacturing, if that's going to build new housing?
University of Manitoba Associate Professor of Economics Fletcher Berger isn't surprised by the province's decision.
But we haven't got a good body of evidence, I don't think, about the long-term impacts and spin-off effects that may or may not arise from these.
Canada is currently home to 5 hyperscale data centers with dozens more in the queue. Experts say the search for cheap land and abundant energy is leading some projects to Alberta, but there has been opposition there too.
I mean, it's not good for anybody in any of the community. No. If they want to build something like this, you got to go away from people.
The company still hopes to change the Premier's mind. Kinew says Manitoba will support smaller scale data center projects to protect and keep people's personal information within the province. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has revealed the federal government's new strategy on artificial intelligence, aimed at scaling up the use of AI and positioning Canada as a world leader in building a technology set to define the era. But as Kate McKenna explains, the strategy faces both hurdles and critics.
AI is already changing how we work, how we learn, and how we connect.
After months of delay, the Prime Minister officially unveiled Canada's artificial intelligence strategy that seeks to create up to 250,000 jobs.
Now, as this technological revolution gathers pace, Canada has many of the attributes to help lead it.
The federal government plans to massively scale up AI use and literacy, while also improving privacy and safety. Big ambitions, but vague on specifics. CBC News first reported the contents of the strategy on Monday after obtaining a draft.
There's very little details here on privacy, on safety, on security, on how to keep kids safe. And the reason that you see this strategy today is not because they were ready with some grand plan on AI. It's because the document leaked and they were forced to announce something.
The federal government also plans to build a way to keep data in Canada, reducing reliance on big foreign companies. On a list of foreign trade barriers, the U.S. identified Canada's Sovereign Cloud Initiative as a problem.
We want to make sure that we have an opportunity to be in control of our own destiny, and to the extent that sovereignty and AI is going to be part of that conversation, know that it's going to be the interests of Canadians, not exclusively potential trade irritants, that's going to dictate Canadian policy.
Ottawa will also try to force companies to watermark AI-generated content, but past federal efforts to regulate tech giants have failed.
What I want to see is the government demonstrate it has the regulatory capacity to deal with some of the large tech firms that we're ultimately talking about. We're talking about OpenAI, we're talking about Meta. These are some of the same firms that the government has historically struggled to regulate in the past.
For this plan to work, Canadians will have to buy in, and a global trust study found that people in this country are cautious when it comes to AI. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
The case of a teen connected to an alleged planned attack on Rivers Collegiate was back in Brandon court today. Prosecutors say he should face an adult sentence if convicted. The teen wants to be released to family with conditions. He's been in custody since March after he was arrested by RCMP on the bus to school. Initially charged with uttering threats, he also faces a charge of conspiracy to commit murder. The youth is accused of plotting with another teen in Nova Scotia to attack their schools. The two accused can't be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. For now, the 14-year-old will remain in custody, awaiting a decision from the judge on his release. All right, Riley's back in now, and you were saying that this is more seasonal than what we've seen over the last few days, but we've had a little bit of everything from that really hot weather to those storms that have been ripping through.
Yeah, which, as we saw earlier in the week, Brittany, packed quite a punch with those confirmed tornadoes on Tuesday. We had the tornado warnings in place last night as well. Haven't seen any reports, at least from Environment Canada's standpoint, of any touchdowns, but certainly we'll show you some of the numbers here rainfall-wise. Some heavy downpours, as we saw even in Winnipeg through the late afternoon, early evening yesterday, out of some of these thunderstorms that pushed through. But just looking at some of the numbers, Piney stands out to me in the southeastern corner of the province. 48 millimeters of rain in some of those thunderstorms last night. Pretty negligible, I mean, at least locally in the Whiteshell and Pinawa, but a lot of these storms that pushed through last night were fairly localized in nature. So it's not like we were getting that widespread, steady downpour. These were very localized. Just to give you an example, Steinbach in the city, 4 millimeters, just outside of the city, closer to 27 or 28 millimeters. So that's how localized some of these heavy downpours were yesterday. St. Pierre, 25 millimeters up to 13 in Morris, and quite the range in Winnipeg. Again, just giving you a sense of how localized some of the downpours were in those thunderstorms that have pushed through over the past couple of nights, still having an impact into northwestern Ontario. Here's the center of that low. This was over Saskatchewan yesterday. The frontal boundary out ahead of that is what triggered some of that thunderstorm activity on our side of the border yesterday. Well, that's all off into Ontario and does start to taper off as we get through the overnight hours. Once we get into the morning, looking at skies partly cloudy to mostly clear for the most part. Futurecast here is trying to depict some of this cloud cover as some fog that develops through the overnight hours. I think there is a chance that we see some of that in the Red River Valley, although I think the best chance for some fog overnight will be east of the city into southeastern Manitoba and up the east side of Lake Winnipeg through the early morning hours. So just take that into consideration. Could see some of that, an outside chance in the Red River Valley of seeing some of that through the overnight hours. And then we get back into a mostly sunny sky by the time we get into the afternoon, and that sets us up for a much warmer weekend, and we'll even tack some humidity into the game here as we get into the day on Sunday. This all the result of another area of low pressure that'll push northward over the Hudson Bay coast. Again, a trough down out ahead of this could trigger some thunderstorms as we get through the day on Sunday across southern Manitoba. So things stabilizing slightly because of a ridge in the jet stream, but still unstable in terms of storm potential as we get into the weekend, which I'll show you here in your long-range forecast. But this ridge in the jet stream will help to bump temperatures up as we get into the weekend. So tomorrow afternoon, another seasonal one, looking at 20 to 22 across much of southern Manitoba, 19 in Swan River, Thompson at 22 through the afternoon. And in your long range, how about 30 degrees for Saturday? Mostly sunny into Sunday, Brittany. There is that storm risk in the afternoon, and temperatures stabilizing into early next week again.
All right, thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, here's a look at a very brave bird on a wire, a very dangerous wire, but he looks like he knows what he's doing. We'll have more coming up right after this. Stay with us.
This is Manitoba. And this is Manitoba on your smart TV, because CBC News is now streaming local. Local news and weather on your connected TV or favorite device. CBC News Manitoba, streaming now.
A new national AI strategy announced by the Prime Minister comes as the country is preparing for the emergence of new, high-powered data centres, most of which are set to be built in one province. The CBC's Kyle Bax explains where.
Data centers have long been under the radar for many Canadians, but that's starting to change as a wave of new, more powerful facilities are being developed. New research from York University points to a dramatic shift in data centers in the country. The ones being built now have 10 times the capacity of what's come before. Alberta is at the heart of this all, a province with available energy, financial incentives, and open arms by the government. Right now, Alberta only has about 10% of the country's data centers, but that number is about to jump significantly.
That ratio flips quite dramatically when you start looking at the pipeline of data centers. So data centers that have been announced or under construction, we see into the future that about 90% of these pipeline data centers are being sited in Alberta. So it's not that they will 100% be constructed, but they are at least proposed.
A big shift, and Alberta wants the jobs and investment as the sector scales up in the province. Still, in some communities, there are a variety of concerns, mainly how much energy and water these data centers will use. But there are plenty of other questions that people have, such as about the level of noise and why the process isn't more transparent.
What you're facing with this is massive fallout from emissions, sound, construction.
Some in the industry realize that needs to change. New data center developers are often building their own power plants, so the local grid and prices aren't impacted, and they are reducing water use as well. And they have to be more open with the community.
We got to continue to work together, both industry and government, to continue to build public trust. And I think fundamentally, whether it's misinformation or even the right information, the questions just haven't been answered. It's on all of us to get out there and take their questions, address them openly, make sure we're working towards solutions.
That company, eStructure, is building its third data center right now in Alberta, its most powerful facility yet, and it's already talking about developing a fourth in Alberta as well. Kyle Bax, CBC News, Calgary.
Affordable seniors housing is in short supply in Manitoba, but a proposal in Steinbach to build a 7-story complex has homeowners worrying what it means for their neighborhood. CBC's Christopher Garreau explains.
A new 7-story seniors living complex on this street, filled with single-family homes, got the go-ahead from Steinbach Council, despite neighbors' opposition.
Steinbach Housing has drawn up 84 affordable units for seniors. CEO Tanis Nickel says there's not nearly enough senior housing in the city.
Our wait lists were getting longer and longer, around 7 years, and about 80-90 people waiting for places in our other homes, Fernwood Place and Linden Place.
The new build is on Friesen Avenue, just over a block from Main Street. It needed variances on height and parking. A church behind the property says it's willing to sell its land to help with parking. 7 stories next door to the home he rents was just too much for Royden Lowen and about 24 people who live in the area and came to City Hall in opposition. They're also disappointed to see council remove a long-standing caveat that had reserved the lot as green space.
We applaud Steinbach Housing Corporation for its immense work in addressing a serious shortage of senior housing, but we ask that it be done with a respect for the neighborhood.
Steinbach Mayor Earl Funk says a big reason he's running for a 3rd term is to make sure more spaces for seniors get built.
I've been hearing about it more and more, is that people that have grown our community, been in our community their entire life, are now spending their last years in a different community, making it much more difficult for their family to go visit and be with them.
With council's approval, Steinbach Housing is moving forward with final design. Then it can turn its focus to building more senior housing here on Woodhaven, sharing a street with single-family homes. Christopher Garreau, CBC News, Steinbach.
The Manitoba Progressive Conservative Party has barred a former leadership candidate from running for the party in one riding. The PCs told Wally Dowdrich he cannot seek the party nomination in Turtle Mountain. The Tories said in an email to Dowdrich he made disparaging comments about current and former MLAs, used third-party contact lists, and refused to say he wouldn't pursue legal action against the party. But Dowdrich says none of that is true.
They went into this following the rules, playing by the rules, doing everything right that I believe they expected of me. And lo and behold, just a few days after the memberships were counted, and about 8 days before the vote was to happen, they decided to disqualify me.
He says he believes he outsold his competitor in the race by a 4-to-1 margin. Dowdrich finished second to Abi Khan in a close leadership race last year. We have more on a CBC investigation into AI deepfakes of dozens of Canadian women. Multiple women have told CBC News they feel confused, violated, and terrified after learning that pictures of them were manipulated into nude and violent imagery using artificial intelligence. 2 men are facing charges. The wife of one of them is speaking out about the man she thought she knew. The CBC's Kayla Hounsell reports.
I met Gwen Frankton at her home in Maitland, Nova Scotia. It's where she'd been living with her husband of 21 years, Stephen Lowe. It's a small village around 85 kilometers north of Halifax, and it's also where her husband was arrested in the early morning hours of a snowy February morning after multiple Canadian women were identified in AI-generated nude deepfakes, putting their real faces in fabricated scenes of violence, including rape and torture.
At the time when the police came, Stephen was sitting right here where we're sitting now, fixing one of my silver hoop earrings with a pair of needle nose pliers. And there was a rap on the door, which is unusual here because most people just walk in. That was a total shock. So on the 16th of February, which was the last time we spoke, he called me from the center where he was incarcerated, and I said, it's over, and I will be looking for a divorce. And he said he understood.
Lowe is facing dozens of charges, including harassment, uttering threats, possessing and publishing obscene material, and child sexual abuse material. The Ottawa Police Service says there are now more than 50 women affected. The allegations have not been proven in court. Frankton says she knows many of the women involved in the case and has never experienced more profound pain. She says the spouses of accused people are in a very curious position.
We're not accused and we're not named victims. And at this point, there doesn't seem to be a place for people like me.
She is speaking out, hoping to help others and start a conversation about supports available for people who are not formally victims of alleged crime, but remain deeply affected. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
A new game plan is in the works ahead of next week's FIFA World Cup. It's to prevent fans from being gouged when buying resale tickets. But it only applies to games being played in Ontario. And that's not the only problem fans are facing. The CBC's Sheehan Desjardins reports.
When lifelong soccer fan Alex Morels heard the FIFA World Cup was coming to his city, Toronto, the plan was to see it in person.
But then the ticket drops, and then the prices were too much. So it's just like, how can you even afford it, right? So it's more than your rent.
And others feel the same way.
Just ticket prices too expensive. I won't go because of the ticket prices.
Ontario's premier is taking aim at the price of tickets on the resale market, hiking the maximum fine selling tickets over the original price to $25,000.
We want the average person to be able to go to venues, sports venues, concerts, without getting gouged.
But resale tickets aren't really the issue here, according to this expert.
FIFA was the primary ticket seller. They actually mispriced
the primary market from the get-go.
The World Cup is the most watched sporting event in the world, but just a week before it begins, seats all over are still open. On FIFA's platform, prices for Canada's first match start at $2,300. Cheaper tickets are available for less than half that on various resale sites like StubHub. But some other games in Toronto, like the Ghana versus Panama match, saw the opposite. Tickets are hundreds of dollars cheaper through FIFA. All of that could complicate Ontario's efforts.
I don't foresee a scenario where anybody is fined. It's incredibly hard to prove what the face value of the individual ticket was prior to it going to a secondary site.
Sarvesh Soni paid thousands for several games in Vancouver, even if he wanted to sell.
The trends are going down right now.
So he's not sure he'd make his money back. And experts say the prices on the secondary market will likely drop more.
The demand isn't pushing the prices up at this point. They're actually pushing them down.
It's just a waiting game to see how far. Shia Desjardins, CBC News, Toronto.
The Canada Revenue Agency will send out the new GST rebate top-up starting Friday. It will provide an additional 50% of the GST credit based on 2024 tax returns. The feds announced the one-time payment for low to middle-income Canadians. They say it will help 12 million people. Well, summer movie season is normally a battle of Hollywood heavyweights, but this year's box office hits aren't coming from your traditional filmmakers. We'll explain all of that straight ahead. Stay with us. Two horror movies are dominating the box office right now, and notably, the young directors behind them are both YouTube creators. Magda Gebrselassie explains why it could become the new norm in Hollywood.
I don't understand. What is this? A shift in Hollywood. YouTube creators find silver screen success. Over the weekend, two of them took the top spots at the box office with their horror flicks. Backrooms made an $81 million debut, breaking all kinds of records as an original horror film. Its director and YouTuber, Kane Parsons, is just 20 years old.
YouTube is the biggest platform for video content. So if you don't think that's where you're going to find people who are great at making video content, you're out of touch.
Also drawing audiences, YouTuber Curry Barker's film, Obsession. Made for less than $1 million, so far it's raked in more than $150 million worldwide in 3 weeks. I love you! Falling behind these unlikely hits is a studio enterprise. You good? The Mandalorian and Grogu coming in third place at the box office.
I think Gen Z consumers are smart, and I think they're tired of all the endless deluge of spin-offs and sequels and franchise garbage.
Another YouTuber also made his mark on audiences earlier this year. There is too much at stake. Markiplier made, financed, and released Iron Lung after it was rejected by Hollywood studios. Made for under $5 million, it made more than $50 million at the box office.
What we're seeing now with all the YouTubers is that their fan base is locked in, and they will follow them wherever they go.
This YouTuber, whose film House of Eden was in theaters last year, says this is only the beginning.
I know other YouTubers that are really wanting to break into the space, so I think it's just going to be a domino effect in the best way.
Bringing new blood to Hollywood movie magic. Magda Gebrselassie, CBC News, Toronto.
All right, Riley, back in now. And Riley, despite it being super hot earlier this week, or whether it was raining, we couldn't get the dog inside. She has decided it is time to stay out full time.
Yep, drawing the line.
It doesn't matter. And I think there's a lot of pups and people that might be feeling that way.
Yeah, me included. Me included. I'd rather be outside right now as well. How about outside in nature?
Yes.
Someplace like Wasagaming. That's where the dog walking forecast takes us this evening. This picture, clearly when you see it, you'll know it was taken a little bit earlier in the year. This is Nova. Thank you, Bob, for sending this picture in from Riding Mountain National Park. Tomorrow, looking at temperatures very seasonal for this time of the year. A bit of extra cloud cover, particularly into central and in parts of western Manitoba as we get through the day tomorrow. But wind staying fairly light at northwest 10. Could see the odd gust up to 20 at times. And temperatures topping out around 21, 22 degrees as we get through the later afternoon into the early evening. And these temperatures are pretty representative of what we'll see across much of southern Manitoba as we get through the next day or so before we get into a bit of a warm-up as we head toward the weekend. I'll show you all of that coming up in just a moment here. Just having a look at temperatures, though, across Western Canada, and things for the most part across the prairies below seasonal for this time of the year. 16s, 17s through Regina, Saskatoon. Normal daytime highs in Saskatchewan around 22, 23 degrees for this time of the year. Edmonton, Calgary not even topping 20 degrees. There is a bit of heat to the south of us. Bismarck, Grand Forks 27s, 28 in Fargo. So the heat not too far south from where we are right now. We'll get a taste of that as we head into the weekend here, with some temperatures popping up or even exceeding 30 degrees as we head through Saturday into Sunday. So your overnight temperatures looking like this. Again, these are very seasonal for this time of the year. 10 degrees in Winnipeg, 11s, 12s through the Interlake. Closer to 9, 10 degrees in parts of western Manitoba. That wind does start to lighten up as we get through the night tonight. As we get into northern Manitoba, temperatures in the single digits for the most part, 7 to 9 degrees for much of the region. Churchill at 6 overnight tonight. And a bit of cloud cover where we will potentially see some showers first thing out of some of this cloud cover in the morning. Otherwise, this cloud cover just kind of hangs around as we get through the day tomorrow. 22 in Flin Flon. You'll notice some warmer temperatures where we do get into a bit more sunshine through the day. 25 in Lynn Lake, 23 in Thompson, 22 in Gillam through the afternoon. In southern Manitoba, there is the possibility of some fog in the Red River Valley, but more so, I think, into eastern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario first thing in the morning. By the time we get into the afternoon, we do get into some nice sunshine pretty much across the southern half of the province. 24 to 26 degrees in Westman, maybe a couple of scattered stray showers. 22 in Portage, and looking at things, 21 to 24 degrees under a mainly cloudy sky to start in northwestern Ontario. Your 7-day forecast, Brittany, is coming up.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
She's been living in Canada since the war began in Ukraine, and for now is still in the permanent resident process, which means for Irina, English programs are not available to her yet, leaving her feeling lonely with a language barrier. So she took matters into her own hands, making a post on Facebook in an effort to practice her English with the community and also connect with people. She spoke with Marcy Marcusa earlier.
I believe learning English is like a sport. You need to practice every day. If you just still at home and learn only grammar, you never can speak. So I posted in Transcona Facebook group about my problem, and I think if I will help seniors in yours house, it's a win-win for us. I will help seniors, and they will help me with my English practice.
I love this post. I want to read part of it to people. So you post, as you said, that you're looking for help with your English. And you wrote, quote, "I miss simple communication, conversations, and the feeling of belonging." And then you wrote, "I even had an interview with CBC once. It was one of the scariest experiences."
What did CBC? Invite me again. I say, I have a stress. Okay, Irina. Come in.
Well, I'm glad you decided to come back.
See you next year again?
Yeah, exactly. This is for good reason, though. So people responded, like 200 people wrote back and said they would help.
Yes,
Yeah.
200 people. I'm already I shocked.
Yeah.
I cried. I talk about this. My husband. I can't believe it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. I say it.
Yeah, you have goosebumps. You cried. You were shocked at all the responses.
So many program closed. All program closed for newcomer now. I haven't document. I still waiting a document. I haven't permanent pair. So maybe after 2 years, I will start learn English. But I can't wait.
Yeah.
I won't talk.
Yeah. It's interesting because you offered your services, like you said, you dog walker, seniors, be with seniors, and you got responses. Are you meeting with a senior citizen next week?
Yes, I hope. Yeah, I hope next week I will see. But tomorrow I will see my first family. They are 93 years old. I will help around house, their house. I will help with simple things.
Mm-hmm. How hard is it to learn a language like English in a country like Canada, a brand new country?
I never planned to move from my home country. I had a wonderful life. I had a wonderful business. But the war started. We here with my husband. It is difficult when you are an active person, but you speak like a child.
God.
Understand?
Yeah.
But I believe we'll be great.
So beyond being with the senior citizen, did a seniors care home is going to get you to? Are you going to be volunteering with them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you feel when you read all the responses and you got the offer? They must feel amazing to see the people responding.
Yeah. When messages.
Yeah.
Yes. It's really amazing. I answered for 4 days.
Wow.
I'm answering now. Now I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I answer. Yesterday I had. Meet with wonderful woman, Karen. She is 83 years old. She doesn't need my help. She invited for coffee and speak with me 2 hours. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Wow.
I'm really so happy. Manitoba is very friendly. I understood this from my first day in Winnipeg.
Why did you feel that right away? Were people right away kind to you?
Yeah. Always. Yeah, they always help me. Always. Canadian people friendly. I always say Winnipeg is a war city, even the weather cold, because people is so warm.
I love that. Well, still ahead, she's a social media influencer in her 70s, how this grandma is taking TikTok by storm. Plus, Riley's back with a last check on our forecast. Good news for summer travelers. Air Canada says it's not expecting a jet fuel shortage this summer. A message sent out by the airline reassures customers there will be enough fuel and it doesn't anticipate any impact on operations. The U.S. war on Iran has caused fears of a potential shortage, particularly affecting flights to Europe.
All right, time for your 7-day forecast, and we are looking at a return to above seasonal temperatures as we head into the weekend here. So another seasonal day through Friday, 22 degrees, bit more cloud cover in the morning, then we're into more of a mainly sunny sky, I think, by the time we get to the afternoon, with the potential for some fog first thing in the morning. 30 degrees into Saturday, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, actually mostly sunny for the most part, 32. There will be a bit of humidity in there, making things feel closer to 35 or 36 through the afternoon, and that will fuel a risk of thunderstorms through the later afternoon hours. On Sunday, Monday, looking at a chance of showers lingering into the morning at 27 degrees, and looking at things staying in the high to mid-20s as we get through Wednesday, Thursday of next week. I have one weather picture for you today. This one was taken in Dauphin by Kim, Mama Robin there, and you can see one baby in the nest, but there was actually 3 of them there. You can send your pictures to talkback at cbc.ca. A grandmother from Yorkton, Saskatchewan has gone from TikTok, Brittany, to TV.
She started creating cooking content on social media, blending food and traditional knowledge, and now it's hitting the small screen. That's tonight's Daily Lift.
I am ready to fry my yeast fry bread.
That's Cheryl Whitehawk. She's 71 and is more widely known as Grandma Sherry. She shares recipes and stories from her kitchen on TikTok. It's a way to not only share them with the world, but one day her grandchildren.
She said, Grandma, you've got 5,000 followers. And I said, oh, is that good? And she said, well, I've been on here for 10 years and I only have 5 or something, you know. So I said, oh, and she said, they really like you.
So it's also caught the attention of APTN, where she is now hosting a show presented in her Dakota language. She's originally from Sioux Valley Dakota Nation here in Manitoba. Whitehawk has 10 biological grandchildren and says she has nearly 150,000 adopted grandchildren who call her Grandma Sherry.
I love that. Grandma Sherry. And I love that she's sharing some traditional recipes too in her traditional language.
She frequently pops up on my TikTok.
Yes.
All the time.
Well, see,
So,
151,000. Exactly. Stay cool, stay dry. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her on my